We have little Lori with us here today. Our sweet Lori.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. Happy Easter, everybody.
Happy Easter. Happy Passover.
And I'm wearing my devil horns as usual because that's what I do.
No chocolate bunnies for you, Becca.
No, but I have Martinelli's.
There you go.
Non-alcoholic, made with fresh apples. This stuff
I love
is so
that.
good.
Yeah, I love that stuff.
We got little Johnny Fortescue on the table chowing down.
And little Johnny down here. How are your classes going, Johnny? Good? Any announcements for that?
It's over.
It's over? Already?
How can that be?
Yesterday was the last day.
All 8?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
6.
6. Okay.
Starting the next one in June, right?
June 2nd.
Any special announcements from you guys? Lori, Jennie, Johnny?
I have readings available this week. If you want to sign up for a reading, thewayofpositivechange.com. Book your appointment.
And Lori's joining us Thursday night for my 62nd birthday bash.
Yes.
Going to start around 7 Central Time, 8 Eastern. Thursday night.
I'll make a cake for you and eat it for you too.
Oh, thank you. And take all the calories on for me.
That's good. I'll make a cupcake for you and I'll eat it for you.
You know, I would eat one of your cakes. I'm not sure about a Johnny cake.
No, because remember when I did my birthday last year? When I did my birthday last year and I made the devil cake and then it like collapsed in the oven. So then I ended up making the hole its mouth. Yeah, that was fun. I can't even follow the directions on the box.
I'd be afraid you melt spoons and spatulas in a cake. That was a great story. See Johnny's live stream from, what was that, last Monday to hear the story.
I don't know.
When you were trying to make the roux?
I'm ordering new spoons. I'll leave it at that.
I'm ordering what? What are you ordering?
New spoons.
New spoons. Oh my goodness. Okay.
He melted his plastic spoon stirring his roux for too long.
And he's like, what's all this black stuff?
Oh my God. You have got to be kidding me.
Yeah, I made food featuring plastic spoons. That's what we do around here.
But you know what though? Johnny's been really good getting really, really good with his cooking. He's been watching that. What's that guy's name? Jean-Pierre.
Jean-Pierre. I cooked today. Everything turned out perfectly, actually.
What did you make?
So we have Johnny Pierre.
I made baked potatoes. I made twice baked potatoes. So
nice.
I don't really like baked potatoes, but I do this way. And so I baked it and cut it and scooped out all the crap and then mixed it with a bunch of other crap and put it back in and da-da-da-da-da. And then baked chicken and then rice. Yellow rice.
Congratulations.
So it turned out great, actually. It was my Sunday dinner.
I'm still down for seeing another attempt at the Monte Cristo sandwich, though. I'm here for it. I'll send you the money so you can go buy the stuff and I can watch you mess it up again.
I don't know if I could take it. My sides hurt for days if we laugh so hard at him. Entertainment in the after show.
That was fun. So we got Jennie's birthday on Thursday. We'll all be there on Jennie's channel. Jennie will be turning 62. Doesn't look a day over 35.
Ooh,
for
there
sure.
you go.
Yeah, I'm sucking up now. Okay, 35 is a bit low. 35 is a bit low. Maybe 40, 45. How about that? Work for you?
That works.
We were just talking in the after show, and Jennie was saying she went to the hairdresser and she doesn't have like not even one gray hair. And I'm sitting here looking at mine going, because I have all
I don't have any up here. They're all here.
And can't figure out where it comes from in my family because everybody else my siblings all turned gray in their 40s. My parents both turned gray in their 40s. I don't know where it comes from.
That white streak I have over here, I started getting that at 16.
I'd love to get real cool, bright of Frankenstein stripes. I think
that's what I'm trying to do, but it all keeps growing out. Like in the back of my head, I'm like, no, up here, please. So, yeah. So that's all we got for now. And you guys ready to jump into the readings? Happy Easter to everybody who celebrates.
Happy birthday to all the fellow Aries. And if Peggy Breen shows up in here, happy birthday to her. Her birthday's today.
My mom. Peggy's my mom. I've
I don't
adopted
see her yet, but y'all watch for her.
Let's see. Y'all ready?
I'm ready.
You ready? Johnny, you ready, mister?
Sure.
Johnny? Okay. So the first question I have, can
I just get petty for a second?
Yeah.
MTG comparing Trump to Jesus. Oh my God, what is wrong with that woman? Yeah, going into Easter, going into the time that we're celebrating Christ, and she's comparing Trump to, it's like not even close, sister. Not even close.
It seems to be the theme, though, because SNL did it too,
Oh, well, they did it because she did it.
Well, wasn't there a report that people in Congress call him the Orange Jesus behind his back? That came out like during the January 6th probe and stuff. When all that stuff was going on last year, they were calling him the Orange Jesus.
I mean, I could see comparing him to Jesus if George Santos is claiming to be Jesus.
George Santos was Moses, Jenny. Get it right.
Oh my God.
He was Moses. He built Noah's Ark. So. Oh man. So I guess my first question is, we'll start off with the classified documents. I guess the news broke on Thursday, but I didn't hear about it till Friday. I left a link in my community page before anybody starts going crazy in the comments. Is it this person? Is it that person? No, the documents appear to be too recent, within the last few months. The information on those documents that all relates to Ukrainian defense is too recent for Trump to have that stuff. And
it also, like I brought up to Becca, well, Charles Flynn is still, with the Department of Defense. He was, Assistant Chief of Staff in DOD, but he was moved in June of 2021. So he hasn't even been there to do that.
So it looks like it could be somebody from inside. It's not, because I had asked Autumn to read on it during Friday during one of her live streams, and I saw people in the chat. Oh, it's this person. It looks like, based on my understanding, it's someone that works at the Pentagon. A congressperson can't go in there and take the paper and scan it. They can't do that. So it's someone that has clearance to that level of information, has the authority to work with that information. Just because you have top secret clearance doesn't mean you get run of the mill and go look at all top secret stuff. If it does not apply to you, you do not look at it. It has to be applied to your program. So I want to know, will that person be caught? Because it looked like they printed the papers, took pictures of it, and then posted it on social media sites.
Yeah, it wasn't like they got hacked by Russia and Russia's.
And then I saw somebody asking, was it the Chinese balloons? I'm like,
no.
No, this is not how that stuff works.
It's got to be somebody either in the CIA or Pentagon or somewhere. Let's see, are they going to catch the person? I just said Flynn's brother no longer works at the Pentagon. He's stationed in Hawaii now. For those in the chat. Charles Flynn.
Yes, they are real. It's been confirmed by the Pentagon. If you go and read that article, it's it's a shit show for intelligence agencies. Thank you for posting the link, Lucky Girl. And thank you for letting people know to please read the article because it states the facts as they are known right now. And what they're telling the public right now. I'm sure there's a hell of a lot more that they're not, that they're like, don't say anything. Okay, Lori, you ready?
I'm ready. I think they are going to catch the person. It's a person that's got the GOP entitlement. I'm not satisfied with anything kind of thing going on here. And I think that they'll leak it at a celebratory function of some sort, some sort of gathering they tell. And then I think, and it's GOP, and I think they get caught. And I think they get caught and they have more documents. But wait, there's more. I really do think they're going to get caught, though.
Yeah. Like, what made you think that was a good idea? Like, I mean,
well, this person is a Nimrod. You know?
Yeah, you have to have some. You have to have some balls to do something.
Yeah.
Like, you ain't getting out of this.
I do think it's a Trump appointee of some kind, somebody that he put in there that's still there, that wanted to create all this distraction and everything, blow things up under Biden's watch. He's got an agreement here to do that. So I don't think it's a very high up official. I get they'll get caught by someone higher up, like a general. So I don't think they're that high up. But I get, swiftly catching them, trapping them in the government through an investigation. So they're going to have all kinds of legal problems, probably be whatever you call it, excommunicated from the military. What do you court-martialed?
You're going to the brig.
Yeah,
you're going to the brig.
And locked up or whatever. And I get there may be several people, 3 people, because this is a ring that they're going to be looking at. And I get there's a female whistleblower that may catch something funny and say, oh, they do have more, though. They do have more documents.
Yeah, I get that it's more than one person as well.
I do too. What about you, Mr. Johnie?
Will it be caught? Yes. I think they left a trail, and that trail will be investigated. Some truth will come out for that. They left things behind, though. And so this was not some clean getaway. I don't think it was really, in a sense, it kind of was meant to be, I guess, because surely somebody else knew. But I do get the liar, the rumors, the gossip, the spy part too. So this indicates that there's other people working at this. This person here in the word of warning, that person may have appeared to be on your side or appeared to be at least someone you confided in, because they are at the center of your attention. In the middle are the 2 cards, greed and luxury. So there's that to consider as well, because right beside it is the devil too. So this was whatever this whole thing is meant to be corrupt. This is not someone upset with the system and just threw everything out in the public type thing. There's an agenda hidden here, and yes, they will be caught.
I got a yes. I got the whip, the mice, and the anchor. Chronically stealing something. The mice work in teams. There's always more than one working together. This would be like the card that you would look at for like construction workers, laborers. You know, there's always more than one person, but they'll get caught eventually. Again,
Laborers, that kind of implies they're lower down the chain too.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not too low down because they got the clearance to get a
well,
hold of
no,
it.
it doesn't matter how high up or how low you are. Clearance is clearance, but you're granted a clearance based on you're granted the clearance, but you're only allowed to go so far as the scope of your work. So if this person has a clearance on whatever it is that they're doing, that doesn't mean that they can go into a different program completely not associated and go look through their stuff. But the thing is, there's training twice a year on protocols. So you can't say, oh, I didn't know. Oops. No, you get training twice a year where you're supposed to take a test as well. And if you fail it, your clearance goes bye-bye. So it's not like, I didn't know, I forgot, you know? So they take that stuff very seriously. Next question. Do you guys mind if we go into the yuck real quick? And then I'll just jump to petty.
Isn't it all yuck?
This one's really yuck. Kansas has just passed a law. They overturned the governor's veto, and they are now mandating inspection of children's genitalias in order to play sports. And that was passed by the Kansas House Speaker Daniel Hawkins. Will this be challenged?
Not that there's any coaches that are not pedophiles like Jim Jordan can tell you about.
And here's the thing, you know, Peanut played sports when he was in high school. You go in for a regular physical, and I've seen this all over Twitter. Oh, you guys are exaggerating that. No, here's the bill. Read it. This is not a regular physical. When you go for a physical,
to a medically
your junk.
You go to a medically trained doctor who's been to how many years of school to become a doctor to have a exam.
But now they want doctors when they've been belittling doctors for the past how many years to discredit COVID? It doesn't make sense. And it just seems like this would be.
But this bill is authorizing the coaches to inspect. It's like, excuse me. Wait, let's let all the priests and reverends and pastors inspect too in the churches.
Yeah.
So the question is,
will that law be overturned?
Like in their state Supreme Court or something.
Because I mean, you can't tell me that's not invading a child's privacy to have a coach check a child's junk, you know?
I thought we were over that with the women's gymnastics.
Oh, no. Did you hear about the other state that's trying to ban sanitary products because the taxpayer shouldn't have to pay for it? Okay, then get rid of toilet paper too. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous at this
point. Or just ban periods. That way we can just be done with the whole thing.
We're not trying to work on the budget. Let's just go into all this other ridiculous.
What I don't understand is why is everyone else, all the other taxpayers in the world have to be multitaskers, but you don't. Read one bill at a time, do one thing at a time.
It's just
your whole job is passing laws. That's it. You don't dig ditches.
They don't have any solutions to problems. All they can do is create culture wars and find solutions to culture wars that don't exist outside of their own head, you know?
You know, I think they're going to have to abandon this, you know, I do think there'll be legal issues, but I think they're going to have to walk away from this as it will end in like a higher court. I think the coaches, the teachers are going to move it forward through the courts. Like the coaches are like, oh no, don't put that on me.
Yeah, I think it goes to a higher court too. And I don't think it's going to stand. There's too much confusion over who has the right to do what and how, and with the children, with the pages. But there's quick changes with this, and someone's coming in for a good save here to save the kids. So I have a good feeling about it. I think there's going to be a very prominent male that gets this.
Can we just demand an inspection of every GOP member in Kansas?
Yeah, let's do that.
Well,
let's
hold on. They might
mind if you show yours.
they might actually like that because they probably haven't seen their own penises in the last 30 years. I mean, if you look at the picture of the guy that passed that law, he probably lost it somewhere beneath 800 pounds of roll. You know, like, I don't mean to be gross, but that's probably the most play he'd ever get in his life. You know.
On that note, the justice in the word of warning. So this does look like this is an illegal thing. So that's not going to fly. I think some sort of mothers groups possibly here with the Empress and the Three of Pentacles. There's going to be the Three of Pentacles is different sides coming together for one thing. So you have the scholar, the priest, and the craftsman. So you may have a mother's group, and then you have some sort of other group, and then some sort of other groups. And so advocacy is going to really help. A lot of announcements about blocking things. There could be some protest as well. But in the end, yes, there is hope for this being overturned.
I get a yes too in the courts with a judge. It's I don't get it. And it's time for me to start raising money for my little neuter scooter.
With the little mini guillotine.
Yep. I'm gonna take Johnny's idea with a pair of the child safety scissors and
really dull
nail clippers. A pink neuter scooter rolling into town. If you're GOP, you better run. So this one I'm sure Lori knows, but it should amuse her all the same. So Ron DeSantis with his book bans. His book is being challenged now to be banned based on his own rules of censorship. So a few parents have written to school and to the schools and made a list of all the stuff that Ron DeSantis's book talks about, and they're like, take it off the shelf. It goes against his rules of censorship. So is Ron DeSantis going to have his own book banned?
These people are just so stupid that they think they can get away with this stuff. They are just beyond stupid.
I mean, I love how they put laws into place that eventually come around to bite them in the butt.
Like the people in Utah that banned all these books, and then the parents wrote a letter with like 47 pages worth of banning the Bible, and here's all the evidence. And then they got pissed off. Oh, this is blasphemy. Based on your own rules, get that book off the shelf. You know? I think it's great. So is Ron going to get his own book banned? Hi, Allie.
I get a yes. He's going to get burdened by this action that was taken against him, but I also get our Trump books will also what is it
banned?
His
Art
book,
of the Deal.
Art of the Deal, like all the Trump books. There's like several Trump books. It's like
so his picture book, his presidential picture book of all his greatest hits on Twitter is still going to be allowed.
I just get Trump books will be banned too.
I think his book gets hung up. I think they're going to talk about it, and they're out to get. There's some people that are out to get him. They even, where was he a couple days ago? And they drove by and came up to where he was signing and said, "Endorse Trump, endorse Trump." and started yelling, and he left, and this he is not having a good time.
He's not ready for this. He probably went back to his house and started eating pudding with 3 fingers again. He took himself out on a date. How about that, Johnny?
Nervous eating.
3-finger Ronnie.
He's going to have a problem with this. He's going to have a problem. The things that he's set into motion is going to come back to bite him in the ass.
And I'm really curious to see. I want to ask this as a follow-up.
That's a yes on the pudding cup, by the way.
3-finger Ronnie. 3-finger Ronnie. I have a follow-up question after this one. Go ahead, Johnny. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't believe it, but it says yes here too. There's a lot of confusion and a lot of people, like Lori said, coming after him. They want to hand him a defeat desperately, but the bad thing is it's both sides, and so he's kind of caught in the middle there. But this is also something that I think started online and will ramp up. So if he deals with this, there's another thing. And then there's going to be another thing, and then another thing. And then the Facebooks and the chat groups and all these, they're going to come up with something else. But yes, it gets thrown out. So that's what it says, but we shall see, though.
We shall see. Here's Ronnie. He loses. There's the ban. The blockage, the obstacle. So I'll believe it when I see it. The mountain, it's Man Coffin Mountain. Yeah. Wow. So I have a question. Recently, a judge in Texas overturned all the book banning. He said you have 24 hours to put all those books back on the shelf. You're infringing on people's First Amendment rights. Will that also be done in Florida? Because just because you don't want to read a book and you don't want your kids to read a book does not give you the right to take that book away from everybody. At all.
Nor force me to read their crap.
Yeah.
That's propaganda.
I mean, it's beyond crazy at this point, you know?
So we're asking, will it happen in Florida?
Yeah. Will the book banning be overturned in Florida?
Okay, so for this, I got something very similar to the answer we got about the coaches and checking the kids. I get that this was all foolish and folly actions, and they went ahead and got rid of some of them, but there's a save here coming. There's a save. And I get a particular male. This is a different male. It's a different king leading this. So I'm very happy to say, I think, and when it happens, I think it happens really quickly.
Didn't they ban Anne? Why am I thinking of Anne Rice? Not the lady that writes vampires. The Holocaust girl, the Anne Frank's diary, because it talks about her period. They banned Anne Frank's diary because it talks about now girls in Florida. They just passed the law that a girl in Florida can't talk to her friends about her menstrual cycle. I mean, they have gone beyond insanity at this point.
It's going to get fixed.
Don't talk about your periods. But you have to report your period to a board of God knows who to make sure that you're a female. You know, it's insanity. It's insanity. I'm sorry, Jenny.
And wanting to track period schedules and everything. It's like, but don't talk about it.
Yeah, don't talk about it. It's insane.
What you getting, Johnny?
I don't know. That boggles my mind. First of all, lawmaker number one, tell me the first thing about my period. Give me one fact that you know right off the top of your head. Anyway, there is something here that disrupts the situation. So then they go into flux and try to keep things as they are, but it disrupts big time. There's a person here with an agenda, so this is not necessarily someone of authority, but they may be trying to overturn this in particular thing before they bring the tower. This is blocked eventually. The Justice Two of Swords. And then some other man here in a legal capacity takes control and makes a change. And so I think so, but it may take some time. That's in the word of warning. So judgment does take a time to loop back around. So
I get the same thing, blocked in justice, like they'll block this ban through a judge. That's my judge card. It will take a while. It hangs on for a while. But then I feel like there's a lot of very nurturing people that are getting anxious, people trying to nurture their children and raise their children right, that are going to band together. So I feel like there may be some sort of class action suit or something that goes to court. And it will end up in a higher court. Could be like school teachers too joining in on this, but it's going to take a while.
School teachers are taking all the books off their shelves because they're going after and prosecuting teachers.
Yeah, they don't want to go to jail, but they can still pursue it through the higher courts.
Yes, here's the books that we're talking about. There's the recognition, the fame, the creativity, and then there's the results. So yes, there will be a law eventually. When it happens, I don't know. And I had also read that a lot of these book bannings are coming from religious extremists, like a religious extremist mothers group. That's just going through and saying, ban that book, ban that book, ban that book. But because
I think it's called, never mind. It's like Moms for Kids or Moms or something.
Yeah. You don't want your kids reading it, then don't.
And it only takes one or two moms to have something yanked. Never mind that you got hundreds of other moms that are okay with it.
No, and not just that. We don't want anybody's kids reading any of this stuff. But we're totally okay with your kids getting sent to school to be used as target practice for the next mass shooter.
Yeah.
Make that make sense. Because it doesn't.
So he just passed it's okay to have concealed carry with no license.
No license, no permit, no nothing. So when's he up for a re-election, Lori? Is it 24 or 26? You're muted.
Oh, you're muted.
He's not. He's termed out.
Oh, so he won't be able to run again?
Not here.
So that's why he's going for president.
This is his second term. He's done.
He's done, huh?
He's done here.
Thank God for term limits.
The sooner he gets out of here, the better.
I just saw that Gavin Newsom, my governor, went down there to Florida.
Yeah, and what's her name? What's the oh my gosh, the redheaded lady, the Psaki, Jen Psaki.
Jen Psaki, the one that
she had him. She interviewed him. It was on. Y'all go see that if you can on MSNBC. Pull up her noon show today. He was on there. It was a good talk. He isn't going to run. He said, I'm not going to. But he had a message for the same.
Yeah, he needs to start punching all these other idiot freaking Republicans in the face too. I'm not saying we have our problems here in California, but there's no way in hell that stuff like that would fly here.
But at the same time, we as Democrats keep saying Democrats need to say this, they need to say that. They're saying it now.
Yeah. Well, they weren't left with a choice. They've been forced into a culture war that they've been trying to avoid for how many decades now?
And you do have to watch the other states, because look what's happening in Texas in a federal court that's going to mandate a ban on.
I just saw that that judge. I saw some legal experts going over his ruling, which was basically a religious opinion. The day that he put it out later on that evening, DOJ automatically appealed. DOJ was all over that.
And there's a federal judge in another state,
Washington.
yeah, that said, no, you cannot ban that.
And it's not only used for abortion. That they use that pill for all sorts of other stuff, but it's like, I refuse to call it a fetus. It is a human. It's like,
well, it's like Viagra was started as a heart medication, and then they discovered, oh, it helps you keep it up.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. If you don't want women getting abortions, then maybe you should have limp dick too, because that's God's will. So how about that? So here's my question about that whole abortion thing. Because they're trying to get it to go to the Supreme Court to make it the law of the land. So will that pill be banned completely? Will the abortion pill be banned completely?
Thank you, Margaret.
Thank you, Spirit Watcher Suzanne, for donating to Becca's channel.
Oh, thank you.
I get there's another, I don't know, their hands are kind of tied here at first. There's a problem here. There's all kinds of suggestions and solutions that come to the forefront. But I feel like this isn't, I feel like it's sort of in limbo for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe after that, but it's just sort of hung up for a little bit till they can make it happen. There's a lot of people that are going to work on it, and I think they'll eventually have some progress with it, but we're sort of stuck.
But here's what I don't understand. That abortion pill, it's to prevent the egg from being fertilized, right? So the entire argument of you're killing a human, you're not allowing the egg to be fertilized. Like, I'm not a doctor, but that doesn't sound like a human to me. You know what I mean? Like, so what are you going to do? Are you going to arrest every woman every single month when she gets her period? Because according to your logic, we're a bunch of serial killers of babies.
Well, in the Supreme Court had put it back on the states to determine if they were going to allow abortions. I get, pregnancy and working on trying to isolate this and stop it. I get the pill is secure, that it will stick, that we'll be able to have it, but it's by like real thin margins. So it may vary by state. You may see certain states that start banning it and causing problems with it. But I don't think they can do a national ban on it, because that's overruling what the Supreme Court already said, where it's up to each state. It's not up to.
And the FDA approved it.
Exactly.
It's been on the market for 20 years.
Yeah.
I do get over time, this whole thing will change through the courts. So I think eventually we're going to have new laws. We just got to get back in power in the House and Senate to do it.
There's nothing that pisses me off more. I've never had an abortion. I've never been pregnant. We don't plan on having kids. But I will be damned if somebody comes around and tells me what I can and cannot do with my own body. That makes me livid. Livid. You no longer have bodily autonomy. It's like.
Can you imagine if, you have cancer, you can't do chemo because that kills cancer cells. That's killing a cell.
Yeah, it's killing a life according to your crazy
logic.
Yeah.
They're crazy.
Only rule I pass upon people is you cannot get tattoos until you're 35. That's it. That way it stops people from getting Pokemon tattooed on the side of their face at 18. That's why. But there's a scientific argument here. And so this is going to have some sort of industry talk too. So anytime you try to ban pills, you have a pharmaceutical company behind it, as well as other things behind it too. And so because there's a lot of talk about money and keeping it secure, a lot of payouts, especially donations to people in Congress. And so there's a whole lot of that stuff going on too. There's a burden upon the Supreme Court. And so this is not something I think they will do. Like Lori said, though, I think there's some trouble somewhere, though. So this may be in states, not necessarily a federal thing. So in some places it's different, and in some places it's stuck. And so,
and this is pill number 2. You have to take that pill with another pill.
Yep.
And it's being used internationally. It's not just approved in the U.S.
And they're saying that it doesn't stop fertilization. It just stops the egg from attaching to the wall of the uterus.
Yep.
So first the argument was the heartbeat bill, which is bullshit, because at 6 weeks, it's a cell. It doesn't even have a heart. It doesn't have a brain. It doesn't have a head. It doesn't have arms, feet, nothing. And now they're saying that an egg is life. Well, then fucking arrest every goddamn woman on the planet, because we bleed every month. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, when are we going to say sperm is also life, and every time a man
ejaculates
off, that he's killing babies?
Yeah, when you're choking the chicken over there on Pornhub, you're committing abortions too. Sorry.
Leave it to Becca to say it like it is.
I get decisions are very problematic around children. But this is something that is long-standing, very, very old with food, and it has a lot of power, a lot of financing. So I don't know if this would be like the FDA or something, because this is food and power. Decisions around children, and then this would be more like the mother. And then it's a very difficult, chaotic decision to make, but eventually over time, it levels out, if that makes sense. So, I got to get petty. So, the other day when there was that tornado in Arkansas, everybody started making fun of Sarah Palin, or not Sarah Palin. What's her crooked eyebrows? Sarah Huckabee Sanders over there, because she was talking about how they're never taking any federal money, this, that, and the other thing. And then the tornadoes happened. And then she started asking for federal money. And then I guess now she's pissed off that she's only getting 75% of the federal money, that she wants 100%. So I was with Peanut downstairs, and Peanut hardly ever pays attention to politics or anything. And I was making dinner, and he's like, this fucking bitch, these fucking Republicans, but like he just starts going nuts. Like, they shouldn't give her shit. Fuck you. Like, I was like, dear God. So he was so mad. Like, he was livid. And I was trying to calm him down, and he was just like pissed off. And I think his blood sugar was low too. Maybe that's why he was like going super crazy. But I told him, I was trying to calm him down. And I told him, I was like, do you know what the most tragic thing about this whole situation is? And he's like, and I was like, do you know what the most tragic thing about this whole situation is? And he's like, what? And I was like, nobody told Sarah Huckabee Sanders to go outside because she was missing the rapture. Sarah Huckabee Sanders out there rolling around in a tornado. Like, bye, Felicia. You're going off to see the Wizard of Oz. So what do I want to know what people think of, how do I word that?
If we're going back on, we're not taking any federal money and then begging for federal money.
Happy birthday, Peggy. Happy birthday, Mom. I just see her in the chat right there.
Happy birthday, Peggy.
So how will people see her
Yeah,
after this, after her flip-flop?
yeah. I'm telling you, anybody that lives in Kansas or Arkansas next time, tell her to go outside. We're missing the rapture.
Because here's the thing, you should take anything the government is going to give you because it helps the people of your state. Never mind you. You are a servant of the people. Your governor's mansion didn't get blown away. Everything they have did. And so maybe you need to take anything and everything they give you.
But just because your governor takes federal money, you have to keep an eye on them where they're spending it.
Yeah,
You know, the
like
people that really need it may not even get it.
Like what Satan did with all the COVID money, and oops, I spent that on illegally busing immigrants all over the U.S.
And she probably is going to give half of it to private schools anyway.
Yep. Missed opportunity, Arkansas. Missed opportunity right there. See, that's the thing. Creative solutions to complex problems, people. Leave it to me. I got it figured out.
The people of Arkansas are not going to be happy with her. And I get, at first they think she's going to help. They think she's going to help, but then they see her as a grifter. So in the beginning, there you go. In the beginning, they think, oh, okay, she'll help us out. She'll steer our boat. She'll guide us. And then it's like, whoop, where'd it go? Where did
You
it go?
think she mismanages the funds? The federal.
She's going to.
Oh, yeah, she's going to. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to. Just like the thing.
I didn't even see that one. What is that? The 10 of Pentacles?
10 of Pentacles. Yep. She's making off with it. She and someone else. Is she married? Or she got a lover? Or what's going on?
I think she's married.
Yeah. Well,
He's
maybe
blind.
he can do like Casey DeSatan and make his own special fund.
It's interesting. I get the lover's card too on her. I get they're out in the cold from the money and they're wondering about all this work. Like, why didn't we get the money? And they're going to start questioning her. She'll lie about the money and hope that they'll give up and walk away. But I get that she is partnering with somebody else and siphoning the money off. Like she's not using it for the people. And I do feel like something is going to get highlighted around all this money that was supposed to go to like homeowners and stuff to help them.
I don't know how I could have possibly picked any more horrible cards, but go ahead, Johnny. Go ahead.
Over time, she is seen for who she is. She will be seen as also either petty or vindictive as well too. But the money is either announced to be coming. It's on the way. So there is some salvation. There is some news about money. However, there is some loss because of partnerships that she has over here. And so you get the 3 that's knocked over and the 2 that's left. So if she gets $10, 8 is missing and then 2 is left. And so
that's generous.
It's not just like she put in her pocket. I think it's her friendships and relationships. And so if she has a contractor over here, then that contractor is worth $4,000 and they get 10. And so it's one of them things to where she's greasing the palm. She's helping the people that she knows. And she's doing it all from the comfort of the governor's mansion. And so this is not something where she's going to be prosecuted and thrown under the jail for. This is something she's going to do in her role like the rest of them do. But I would count the pennies if I were the people of Arkansas. So
you're saying like the contractors would normally charge $50-something thousand, but they're charging her $850,000, and she's like, here you go, here you go. Mm-hmm. I don't think I could have picked worse cards. So there's the house. There's the, what is that? Cross, clouds, scythe, box. Here's your tornado. There's your bad weather. That's very burdensome and it happened very quickly and caused a lot of destructions. The families are suffering because of this tornado, and they're going to become very suspicious. Like very, very, very. I don't get no money cards. I only pulled a line of 5, but they're going to get very suspicious of her. Like you guys were saying.
It's interesting. There is no money card. Like they don't get any money.
The families don't get any money. They're suffering from all of this. And then they're like, where the hell's the help? They're suspicious of it. There's no money here, just the really bad weather that happened very suddenly and caused a lot of destruction. So maybe one day they'll understand we shouldn't keep voting Republican. Just saying.
At all.
Just saying. I'm just saying. So North Carolina, what was the lady's name? I didn't write it down. The one that was Democrat and just woke up one day and it was like, I'm Republican today.
Starts with a C.
Yeah, starts with a C. I can't think of her name.
Comfy.
The chat will know.
Yeah, comfy.
Know everything.
Like Comey.
Comfy.
Comfrey.
Yeah, she ran as a Dem in a deep blue district, won, and then woke up one day and was just like, I'm a Republican now. And I had told the Trisha Comfit, thank you, Patricia.
Yes. Okay.
I had told the chat years ago, be careful on who you're voting as Dems, because it looked like at that time, 2 years ago, that Republicans were putting in plants, people that look a certain way, but then they're going to legislate a different way. Do you see what I'm saying? And well, here's one perfect example.
Look at their history.
Yeah, I mean, look at what's her face, Cinema. You know, she ran as a progressive. She's completely Republican. You know, so this Comfit person or Cotham or whatever her name is. What could happen? Do her constituents have the power to recall her?
I think because I read in North Carolina, they don't have a recall thing.
They don't? Because that just seems weird that, you know, I would be livid if that happened here. I would be out, not rioting, but I'd be out in the streets. You know,
I don't think they have the ability to recall her in North Carolina.
Sounds like a Santos, like buyer beware type of thing. Like,
yeah,
she got one over on you this time.
Yeah, and that was in a deep blue district. So what happens to her? Because now I guess that the Republicans in North Carolina have the supermajority now, so that they can veto the governor, and she's going all anti-abortion. We're going back to the dark ages, anti-enlightenment, anti-education, anti-art, anti-everything. Just, you know. Which
I saying in the chat, they cannot recall her. Yeah, gave them a super majority, so. Well, because they're pissed off they got a Democratic governor.
This is North Carolina?
Yes, sir. North Carolina.
I think that's where the guy we read on, whatever week that was, black dude, big tall black dude who went to church and said he was, God formed him, use the word formed him to fight gay issues, to fight against gay issues.
I bet you
he's running for governor next time around.
I bet you he's got a whole drawer full of big, ginormous dildos.
Now, I understand that you say that they can't recall her, but the people who supported her and paid and donated are pissed.
Oh, I would be too.
They are really, 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 really angry. And they're going to bring her up on some sort of ethics charge. She lied, but they're going to take her to court. They're going to try to get her on an ethics charge of some sort. I don't know where it goes, but that's what they're going to say. You lied or you misrepresented yourself. We gave you this money, and now you're using trouble.
Yeah, kind of like George Santos deceived his entire constituents. I'm surprised he didn't tell him he was Superman, You know, I mean, he's like this close to us hearing that he told him that he was Superman, and there's
Well, he did work on the Spider-Man musical, so he was close.
He was close. DC Comics, man. DC Comics.
She's going to get burdened because the strength of her votes came from Democrats, and there's a lot of judgment on her and illumination on this. People feel bullied by her. They're, asking questions, trying to figure out how to look at this from a different perspective to take it to court. I get, the change will come through a court, but they're not sure how to process it yet. They need legal advice, is what I'm getting. Like what to go after her for. She's going to get burdened.
It's going to be heavy. Yeah.
Yeah. So whether she gets voted out the next time or whatever, she's going to get burdened in the court somehow. It's her messaging, because she messaged as I'm a Democrat. She lied.
She messaged on women's right, and all of a sudden she's anti-abortion. Make it make sense.
Johnny, stop that.
I mean, stop it, because I ain't even sleeping. So I get here with the Democrats. They are trying to find anything. So they may have a few years of fruitless fights, to be honest, to where they're just throwing anything to see if it sticks. So this may be an agenda of theirs because they're upset. And so they, as well as her supporters, who they thought they were supporting, may just try to throw anything and see if it sticks. Over time, she gets replaced. So, of course, she's not going to be a Dem the next time because there is the Republican card too and her agenda. I clarified this with the 7 of Cups. So she confused on purpose, of course, but she has something else going on there too. There is something deeper to her situation than just a switcheroo to give them the supermajority. There's something deeper under there. But as far as what's going to happen to her right now,
nothing.
People just throwing to see what sticks, basically.
Well,
he's like a Tulsi Gabbard.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, we'll look at that next because I'm curious to know, too. I get that her constituents, I got the snake, the dog, what is this, garden, forks, and stars. They feel betrayed. What happens to her? Nothing. But because these people have been betrayed, they start campaigning and networking online and within their groups and raising another person up that is trustworthy, if that makes sense. So I guess they're going to start looking for someone to run again, like the next election, because I don't see her going anywhere. I just see that she flipped parties and betrayed people, and then the people are pissed off and they're like, okay, well, let's move forward and look for another way out of this, So my question is, why did she flip? It just seemed to come out of nowhere. Just one day she's a Democrat, the next day she wakes up and, oh, I'm a Republican and I think abortions are murder. Did you catch the question, Jenny?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why did she?
I get she was promised a higher position and money, maybe even a piece of land or something that she wanted, possibly. But I think she was tricked too. So, because there's more lies here than just what she did. So she lied for money and personal profit enrichment, but there's still a lie there. Like, I don't really think that's what she wanted to do, or they lied to her, or there's just still more lies. This circles back around to another big lie. So something else churns up here.
Okay, I'm gonna hold on to that thought.
Yeah, because I'm getting there's a lie here too that's gonna break open. She's been like this a long time, so I think she's always been a Republican, and she's doing something sneaky to get win the election and get the money and the donors and everything, and then once it's done, she's gonna walk away from the Democratic Party. She's in what looks like a heavily Democratic, like Dems have the strength in her district. But I also get that a man talked to her about changing to being a Republican, like once she was elected. Something's going to come out on this. There's and it'll take a while. It's slow moving with the chariot here, but some kind of lies and bullying of the Democrats in this district is going to get illuminated and judgment on it. So, yeah, there's a hidden agenda here that's going to shock and awe. It's like, why gerrymander? Just put a plant in to run.
I think she's mentally disturbed too, or there's some sort of extreme naivety, or the people who easily fall into cults type thing. She has that kind of mentality to where she can be very easily led.
So she's Jennie Thomas's best friend then. That's what
anything as long as you win.
But I think that she may this may be a gotcha type of thing too. There's a man here who has an agenda. A man who has an agenda. A man who has an agenda, who told her she would be sitting pretty after X, Y, and Z. And so whatever his agenda is, she took up and followed through, because again, that follower cult-like mentality, she went along with it. But this was a very, very bad conversation. This was filled with immorality. This was that win at all costs, that dishonorable behavior. And that's what the conversation was all about. It was filled with that, but she took it hook, line, and sinker. And so I think that she is not going to be sitting pretty. I think that she was tricked, but she went along with it. So it's not like she's innocent, but I think that they pulled the fast one on her too.
Your reading, Lori? Remind me in a second. Stealing, thievery, in secret, results, widespread danger, and hacking. This right here would be, the stars is more like your map. Here you cut away at it and take away here. See what I'm saying? So, but they're stealing and plotting and planning in secret. And then there's the results of taking stuff away with the mice, the letter, and the scythe. These two here, thievery, impeachment, secret, widespread. Where was North Carolina with the stealing of the election? Does anybody remember? They weren't part of the swing states, were they?
They were part of the swing states, but maybe they want to impeach their Democratic governor.
Because there's an impeachment here, taking away here, and there's something secret. It's being done in secret.
If I'm not mistaken, I can't remember if it was North or South Carolina. I think it was North Carolina. Was commanded by their Supreme Court, state Supreme Court, to redo their maps.
They're redistricting.
They haven't done it yet. Like, they keep putting it off. They have told them over and over they need to redo their maps.
So does North Carolina, because this is impeachment, take away, steal, impeachment here. And then taking away in secret so that you can also take away and have a good result with the maps by hacking stuff
maybe
out.
they want to impeach one of their state Supreme Court justices so they quit telling them to redo their maps.
But there's thievery that's being planned behind closed doors. So it goes beyond.
Yeah, they want to get away with it. They want to steal the districts and gerrymander it, and maybe they want to impeach one or two of the justices to take, put in some Republican justices so they quit telling them to redraw their maps.
Is because this is also as a thing. This would be maps. This would be surgeries. Rakes, scissors, forks, anything sharp.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And their lieutenant governor is the Republican.
Their lieutenant governor is Republican. Is their governor?
That's the guy who God formed him to fight gay people.
And is the governor Democrat or Republican?
Democrat. So if he got impeached, they'd probably put the lieutenant governor in.
There's plotting and planning to steal something in secret, impeachment, and changing maps, taking away from maps.
Wow.
I could be wrong. Keep an eye out on North Carolina.
Everybody keep an eye on North Carolina.
I'll be right back. I drank too much tonight.
You should have a Martinelli with me, Jennie. Johnie, you should try these. I don't know if you've ever tried them. They're non-alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
It's like juice.
I like anything with bubbles in it, so yes, I've had it.
I get the little bottles.
The little one.
Uh-huh.
I didn't find the little ones. I only found this size, but this one's the apple. I think this one's my favorite.
It only comes in apple, doesn't it?
Mm-mm.
No.
It's they have a sparkling grape. They have a thank you,
great.
Fran. They have a strawberry something too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
The strawberries good, but I like the apple the best.
I've used the apple in smoothies too.
Oh, really?
It's a good addition to anything.
I think we've.
This video is not sponsored by Martinelli.
No, it's not. But if you want to sponsor me and send me endless supplies of Martinellis, I'm not going to decline your offer. So the Missouri House Republicans have voted to completely defund state public libraries.
What?
When they did their bill, they said $0 for state public libraries because the libraries and the librarians were suing the state of Missouri because they were banning books. So in a retaliatory effort, they were telling the libraries, take that book off your shelf, take that book off your shelf, and the librarians fought back in a lawsuit. So the Republicans said, okay, we're not going to fund public libraries, so you're going to have to shut down. So they voted to defund all the public libraries in the state. So I want to know, will that be challenged?
Libraries in Missouri.
It's like if these people really want to go back to the dark ages, just go. Turn off your internet, turn off your lights, get rid of all your regular comforts that you're used to, and go live in a little cave over there by yourself and leave the rest of us alone. Please and thank you.
No books. Fill the shelves with guns. Maybe then you'll like it again.
I love the library.
I do too.
I just uploaded the app so I can get the
ebooks.
Yeah.
I just finished an ebook. Well, I have the regular novel and I was reading it and I was like, I don't like this. My library had the audiobook, so I was listening to the audiobook while reading the book because they just made a show out of it. It's on, I think it's on Netflix. No, it's on Amazon, Daisy Jones and the Six. It's a new show on Amazon, but it's based on Taylor Jenkins Reid. The audiobook was freaking amazing because it's full cast. So everybody that talks has a different voice. It's a different person. So It was great. So I'm going to go watch the show this week.
I had my potty police with me.
I have like 4 library cards. I swear to God, it's like, don't mess with the freaking libraries, dude. It's the stupidest thing you could do.
But why do you insist on stupefying the population? If you don't like the book, don't read it. That doesn't mean you get rid of it, or doesn't mean that you take the bad words out and then just act like it's not there. I mean, fighting against other thoughts and ideas is a human thing. It's been going on forever and ever and ever. I get it, but that's a bridge too far. Just you can't. That's a level of intolerance and control that is not supposed to be first world countries. Nope. And so that baffles my mind.
They're just drunk on power, and they want more. Like, they will stop at nothing. What, they're going to come for bras next? They're already. I told you all they were going to come for our tampons. They already did that in that one state. They're trying to ban, sanitary products in the schools. They're going to come for bras, and then next, women aren't allowed to work. Okay, I hope people's husbands have fun raising a family and paying a mortgage on one income, like we're living in freaking 1950s.
Was it Missouri that said the women in the House or their state Senate couldn't wear sleeveless shirts?
Yes,
they have to cover themselves.
It's not a woman's fault if you can't keep your head out of the gutter and getting a hard on every time a woman walks by. That's not on us. That's on you. That's on you.
Yeah, that's on you.
They're going to want us to walk around like the woman in Saudi Arabia, completely covered up with a bed sheet. I mean, come on.
Yeah, this is going to be a big old fight. This is what would normally be a happy place. They feel, betrayed. That it's just not. It's not a happy place, and it turns into a big free for all. I mean, it's going to be a big fight. It's just going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly, and it's just mean and bullying, and it's just. And my alcohol card is the devil. So I this isn't. They're going to be in this. They're going to swirl the toilet and tackle each other until they can come out of this. I mean, but they're going to need help. This isn't good. They're in big trouble there.
So what does the devil in the outcome mean?
I don't think they solve this.
So they're just going to defund the.
I think they're going to be in a big fight, and it's going to just keep going for a while. I just don't see. I mean, I think in the end they'll be okay, but it's not. This isn't good. This is ugly. It's ugly. Really ugly. Really. That's what I get anyway. I hope you guys get something better.
I get it's a big fight too through the courts. There's hidden agendas here and trying to do this. I do get like the workers banding together, and trying to do something, because they're going to be out of jobs.
And not just that, but these idiots are so fixated on their Second Amendment, they don't give 2 shits about anybody's first. Get rid of the First Amendment because we don't like what you people have to say. But guns are the solution to everything.
Yep.
Meanwhile, pro-life, if you care about children at all, some of them, their only place to where they have internet, where they have study material, is the library.
It's the library. And what state was it? I forgot what state was it that they wanted to defund free lunches, but we love the kids.
Mm-hmm. Don't feed them anything, though.
I was one of the kids that most of my meals came from public school breakfast and public school lunches.
Mm-hmm.
That's how poor we were, and it's like, no, take it away. We love the kids because Jesus.
Tennessee's okay with dirty old men in their legislature, but no black representation. Sorry.
Mm-mm. I get it is a huge struggle here. The 5 of Wands, 7 of Wands, 9 of Wands. This is going to drag on too. But in the end, I get the 8 of Swords and the 8 of Pentacles. I think it will stay. They will stay funded. In the end, I believe this is not a thing you can do, or the restrictions will be put on possibly by the population. But yeah, it's just nothing. But yes, that's what I get.
I get that this journey is going to be a bit difficult, taking away here with the mice, cutting away and taking away something here with the scythe violates some sort of document that is solid and long-standing.
Like the state constitution.
Oh,
maybe
good.
like the state constitution or just the regular constitution, God damn it.
Mm-hmm.
Books are under the First Amendment. Just because you don't want to read it does not give you the right to take it away from somebody else. Don't fucking read it. You know? I can't. Okay, so moving on to petty stuff. So the GOP, God bless them, are a bunch of idiots because they still haven't learned, because they keep doubling down on these completely unpopular things like in culture wars. Their latest scapegoat is the transgenders, the gays.
The woke.
What's that?
The woke.
The wokeism, when they don't even know what woke means. Actually, they do. Insert woke instead of blackness, and that's your answer. Just intolerance and racism. But they keep doubling down on it. And the other day, Ann Coulter, which is a freaking Nazi herself, that's a terrible human being, was on Twitter screaming at the top of her lungs, "Pro-lifers, we get it. We won. Abortions are illegal. Oh, now stop, or there's not going to be any Republicans left." So they recognize that it's not going to work out the way you think it's going to work out. So because they keep pushing anti-wokeness, which is basically anything they don't like, books, gays, transgenders.
They can't define it, though. When you ask them to define wokeness, they can't define it. It means being aware idiots.
Yeah. Scapegoating blacks, gays, Jews, transgender women, while having this crazy pro-gun idolatry that's getting people killed.
Can I say one thing?
Mm-hmm.
If you saw the protests in Tennessee, all the kids coming out, for the anti-gun protests, the chant that they said should be our mantra in the Democratic Party. They said, "You ban books, you ban drag, you put kids in body bags." Yeah. We should be chanting that all day long.
They were chanting that, and then they were chanting also in the House, "Fuck you, fascist!" Like, yeah. It was great, and and it's like, here's
all those kids are going to be 18 before 2024. Go, kids!
And then there's a whole bunch more coming in the election cycle after that in 2026, and then 2028. And you all keep saying, "Have fun dying at school," because the checks coming in are really nice.
And what did their Speaker of the House say to them? Well, which gun would you rather be shot with? I mean, you just had a shooting in your schools. Come on.
6-7 years ago, they said that's the largest voting bloc that does not vote. 6-7 years ago. You have now woken them up, Republican Party.
They're now woke.
So you are the party of woke. Thank you very much.
Well, do you remember after the last midterms? Raise the voting age. These kids don't know what they're doing. They're coming for you, motherfuckers, and you keep poking the bear and telling them to shut up. They're coming for you. So I want to know what do the Republicans look like overall in 2024? Because that's right around the corner. We're already in April. So
yeah, it's going surprisingly fast.
It's going very fast. Midterms will be here before we know it.
It's April.
Yeah.
Right.
March for Our Lives was in Tennessee, contacting them and helping and stuff. So what's our question?
Our question is, what is 2024 looking like for the GOP? Because they just poked the Gen Z bear. And then after Gen Z, then you got Gen Alpha. So, and those are all the little babies in preschools that you guys are totally cool with getting freaking murdered.
They're also waking up a lot of independents, parents, who are afraid for their kids that are in school.
Yeah. And then the whole argument, it's the doors. That person shot out the locks and got in. And the only reason they lost their minds was because it was a transgender. That's it. That's it. That's the only reason they had a problem with it.
And still didn't do anything about it.
No, still didn't do anything about it. Maybe that's the solution. Give the transgenders and all the blacks and all the woke people guns, and maybe.
I think that's a meme a long time ago. You want to do something about gun laws, then more black and brown people need to buy guns.
Johnny, that's exactly what happened here in California when Reagan was the governor.
It changed overnight.
Black Panther rolled in with all their guns, and all of a sudden, he got rid of all the freaking open carry gun laws in California.
Yeah, I don't think the police are going to be very thrilled with DeSatan.
Oh God, no.
No,
How's that going to help public safety?
Yeah.
How's that going to help public safety?
It's ridiculous.
And then now with the report that came out from the officers at Uvalde, why did the officers sit around for 70-something minutes? Because they were scared to death of going into a school with one man.
They want to go home too.
With an AR-15. They wanted to go home. So I'm sorry your kids are getting shot up and murdered, but I'm not going in there. You know?
And with that library question, with the devil card being the outcome card, I think that their hands are tied, that they're going to, like what you said with the constant piece of paper, the Constitution, they're going to have to do it.
Yeah.
They're going to have to fund the library somehow. But now back to this one, this question. I have the devil card again. And so I asked what happens to the Republicans? How do they do in 2024? And they're going to be seen as fools. This is the 8th position in the Celtic Cross. So they're just and they're gonna lie so bad about everything. I mean, everything is a lie. And who paid who? And I don't think they're going to do very well at all, but they are going to try to cheat. They are going to try.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
They're going to try. But I don't think they're going to
was a rehearsal. That was the dress rehearsal.
Yeah, I get the same thing. Republicans on the bottom here, big upset, big heartbreak. They will try to manipulate things, but it's like an ending to the corruption. People want an ending to the corruption and a balancing of that male-female energy, that patriarchal society. I get they'll be blocked and left out in the cold in the House. So we're going to see the House transition, and I get my card for Democrats, the King of Cups, strength to them, working together. There will be Republicans working on trying to steal in isolated places, so we're going to have to watch that. But I get a blue wave.
There's no way that people are going to sit around and let them keep doing the crazy.
Not when you got 70% want women to be able to choose for themselves, and then 70% want AR-15s off the market.
Did you see what they just did? Was it Idaho? Abortion travel is banned.
Oh.
So now you're trapping people in a fucking state and now you're telling people where they can and can't go. It's beyond crazy. I'm sorry, Johnny. Go ahead. Sorry.
I got change, death, maybe death to a party. You have been, they have been actively killing their own party. This is not even a democratic thing to where they're sticking it to you. You're doing it yourself. You see the country going this way and then you go that way. And so you're doing it to yourself. There's going to be a lot of trouble finding balance even within the party, which is why they have the loyalty pledges and all of those type of things. But you let the Orange Menace in. He divided you. And then it's dividing you even further because even people who were on his side still don't like you, but they don't like him either because now they're in jail. And so your party is fractured a lot. It's going to be very, very hard for you to get a job. Very hard. But the Eight of Swords does teach a lesson that it is you that holds you back. So if the country is going this way, you go that way too. You can have a different solution to the same issue. So maybe if we want abortion or we want healthcare, if we want such and such, you can want that too and just do it a different way. that doesn't mean, no, I don't like that because it goes against my 1950s mentality. That's not how you win anything anymore. And then the Exodus. And so people begin to move on because why not? They get a revelation. They get this, your whole thing is on the faulty foundation in the first place. You cannot live in the Archie Bunker age anymore. It's gone. So you have to move forward into 2024, where all the Gen Zers got gay friends and trans friends, or they're trans themselves, or they don't want kids going forward, or they want a career instead of a this, or the world has changed. So you have to change with it.
And the beauty of
I feel like the Democrats could run on two things, guns, getting rid of AR-15s, and gun control and abortion rights. And if that's the only two things they ran on, they would win.
Yep. And it's funny that Johnny was saying Archie Bunker, and also, here in the 21st century, now there's consequences for being a freaking blatant racist piece of shit. You lose your job, you get ostracized from society. So why are you working so hard to go back to that time? I get that they're going to lie about an uptick or an uprise or an improvement in the polls. Kind of like what just happened in the last midterms. Red wave, red wave, red wave. It's a lie. This is in the middle. And then I get book and mice. Know and knowledge that there's losses, diminishes. Something diminishes and loses. There are some states that will lie about the elections to steal, to take away. And then there's this that is done in private. But I don't think it works. Changing something in secret.
I was focusing on federal elections in 2024.
Can we look at states?
Can we ask, will we see more state legislatures flip?
Okay.
Like in Tennessee and Arizona and Arkansas.
What just happened in the cheese state with the lady winning the Supreme Court seat.
And they're already talking about impeaching her before she's even taken the oath of office.
And have fun with that, because the governor just appoints another one. And then go ahead and show your whole ass to everybody. So
Tennessee just said the quiet part out loud. I mean, it was so flagrant.
Yeah. Flagrant is a great word.
It was beyond, and the reason that they did it was I don't think that they were anticipating the national backlash and public outrage over their bullshit. Like,
they made it pretty obvious when the white woman didn't get removed.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cat Mama.
So will more state legislators flip up at the midterms?
Will more state legislatures, flip? Like Georgia, Tennessee, some of these that have been predominantly Republican.
Someone tell me how the AG in Georgia is it Georgia or is it Texas, where that man is under indictment, but he's still the freaking AG?
That's Texas.
Texas? Somebody make that make sense. Make that fucking make sense.
Because he's been waiting to be his own trials.
Yeah, he's been waiting to be convicted for how long now?
Mm-hmm.
So he's got every intention to stay rooted, even if he has to lie, cheat, or steal. Because guess what? Once you're out of office, you're done.
I still get there's going to be some legal challenges to some of these elections. There's a lot of money paid. Legal challenges, a lot of money paid. And I think the Republicans do a little bit better in the local state. I think they do a little bit better there. But there's a lot of waffling going back and forth.
I get the same thing. I get like there's a little bit of bad news for Republicans, shining a light on this, and I feel like, the independents, the ones that work across the aisle both ways, are on the rise and will probably vote more for Democrats. Republicans are seen as trying to hang on with no plan, so they're like fighting it. Some of them it'll go to the courts, and they'll lose out in the courts. But I'm gonna say maybe a third of them flip. Like 3 out of 4 will stay the same, but a third of them, there'll be enough dissatisfaction that they'll flip.
I get something possibly around Georgia. This is going to be somewhere southern, though, is my feel. I know they're in Tennessee with the Tennessee 3, especially the 2 Justins. I think there's a burden that can be put upon them that if they choose to take it up, they could do a lot of good, kind of like a Stacey Abrams type of thing, to where they can go and rally the troops in other places. And so they could be a voice, especially right now, since they're national attention, which I don't think their opponents wanted them to be, but I'm glad they are, because now they can take that and spearhead other issues, not just the racism and the unfairness part. They could do that same thing in other places where it's taken place, like Mississippi. And so I think someone here, there's someone new, some woman. This is a Black woman, though, so that's why I was going more for a southern state somewhere, to where it hasn't happened before, but it's going to happen now. These 2 people here are going to be very, very prominent within a southern state. But that's what I get. There's a flip there. But it's a big deal, or at the very least, it'll be big deal national attention-wise. So it'll be a big deal, though.
Not all, because there's a lot of cheating and manipulation and lying. But there's going to be an abundance of manipulating and lying about stuff. So take that for what you will. Like I said, 2020 was a dress rehearsal, and what happened in the cheese state, the reason that they lost their goddamn minds was because that state has been so they were saying it's the most gerrymandered state in the entire US. And now that the Supreme Court has gone blue, they can redistrict and make everything fair, which means that all those Republicans that have embedded themselves like ticks because they've picked their voters through gerrymandering, that's gone. That's gone, so have fun with that.
Thank you, Jillian.
Petty question. Ladies and gentlemen, get your boxing gloves on. Fighting out of the left corner, we have the loudmouth, the horse face, the unstoppable Marjorie Taylor Greene. And fighting out of the right corner, we have the Quackanon lunatic, what name do we call her? Looney Loomer, the unstoppable Trump bootlicker conspiracy theorist. Put your bets in now, ladies and gentlemen. Who's going to win? And so, that was my best impression. So Laura Loomer and MTG are about to get in the mud.
Big time.
Oh, yeah. And I'm here for it. I am so... Jennie was texting me yesterday. I forgot what you texted me, Jennie, and I replied, I was like, yeah, she's jealous that she's crazier and she doesn't look like a horse. Jennie was like... And she said, Marjorie Taylor Greene has the nerve to say that girl is a white supremacist. Bitch, did you look in the mirror?
And a liar.
And a liar?
Excuse me, MTG. Who met with Nick Fuentes?
Yeah. Well, Nick Fuentes, was it Nick Fuentes? Nick Fuentes or Ali Alexander, one of them called her a whore after she turned her back on QAnon. Like, oh my God. So here's the thing. Why Why is MTG picking a fight with Loomer?
Donald Trump finally has two women fighting over him, and it's Freddie and Jason. So it's
Did
like,
he for sure hire Loomer? He did hire Loomer, right?
he did. I thought I seen something too that she has now been released or replaced or something like that too. But he hired her to run his campaign or something like that.
His campaign manager, so like his Paul Manafort. So she'll be the next one in jail.
So why is MTG picking a fight with Loomer? Oh my God, I'm here for it, man. I just want somebody there to have their phone so they can record it, because that's going to be ridiculous. I wonder whose weave's going to get pulled out first, Johnny.
I think Marjorie would pull her own out. She would do one of them Zoom calls. If I'll do this to me, imagine what I'll do to you type of things. Yeah, she's not stable.
So why are they fighting? Oh, that's funny.
I think she wants to be there is what I think. Go ahead, Laura. I'm sorry.
No, you go.
I think she wants to be the person. She wants to be Donald Trump's North Star, his Rudolph, if you will. She wants to be that person, and she feels some kind of way. She's very jealous that she's not. She wants to be center of attention. Like, don't have nobody else sleeping in my place type thing. Remember, there's a photo I have. Jen put this on the community post 40 years ago. I was going through some old ones where MTG was groping a cardboard cutout of Donald Trump. Yes.
Yes.
So she has an attachment to this man. She wants to be his center of attention. And
it's like she's such a narcissist. She thinks she can control him too.
Yes. Puppet strings. She wants to be there.
Oh, by all means, please do so. That means you get a one-way ticket in the fast lane to jail, because everybody that's his track record. So go ahead. What'd you get,
Lori?
She believes that if Loomer's in there, she'll get kicked out. That Loomer will have MTG kicked out. And I don't think Trump really wants her for anything important. You know, this is just, she thinks that she'll get kicked out. That's what it is. And she wants to work there and she wants to be a part of it, but Loomer will kick her out. And Loomer probably will kick her out if she hangs in there, if Loomer stays.
I love it.
She's invested, as Johnny said. She's invested. She does think that her ability to move forward will be blocked by Loomer, that she'll be out in the cold. For whatever reason, she thinks that Loomer will lie about her. Like, okay, well, you know, everybody, they're all a bunch of liars. You can't tell what the truth is.
Oh
she is groping him.
He is clinging.
Well, if it's true what Stormy Girl over there said, honey, your hand's too big. You might want to touch him like this.
She is clinging for security to the man she loves, but at the same time, she thinks she's sitting pretty, and you know that the judgment is in her favor. She thinks she's the star. It's her ego. It's her ego. She thinks she can get ahead with Trump, and Loomer's going to block her from that.
She's actually brought Loomer into the mirror. They're just it's just crazy. Sorry.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So long as
please put Kanye West in as his running mate. Or Herschel Walker.
I get that she's very comfortable where she's at. She sees herself as very successful and a star because she's able to raise a bunch of money and donations. She doesn't want that to go away. She wants the celebrity and the star factor because she's able to do this. raise money. She's comfortable.
Can
Another
I ask a question too after this?
Yeah, go ahead.
You done?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So she's sitting in the car with some guy and says that Trump is just like Nelson Mandela and Jesus Christ because they both
That's
got
her
arrested.
boyfriend, Johnny.
Yeah.
See, this is kind of what I'm she is so attached to Trump at the hip and all that. What happens if he does not elevate her and choose her to be a running mate or a campaign manager? Does she go nuts? Does she stalk him? Does she
Here's the thing.
alert the Secret Service? What does she do?
Does she ever turn against him?
She boil a rabbit on her stove? Like
I think he already has. Because they were saying on Twitter the other day, and mind you, these are from people that I've been following for years before Elon Musk turned Twitter into a shithole. And there's no way to tell if these people are verifiable or it's a fake account. But they were saying that he's asking her to run for senator. If that's true, that means you ain't got no chance in hell of being VP, lady, because he wants you in the Senate, which you have no chance in hell of winning. But to answer Johnny's question, what was the question?
If he picks a VP
and it ain't
her, and he picks a campaign manager just like he tried to do, and it's not her, does she go ballistic? Does she cry? Does she congratulate the winner? What does she do?
It's like, bitch, you already asked him for a pardon for committing crimes against yourself for him, and he said no. What is it gonna take? So what happens to MTG if Trump doesn't pick her for VP?
She's not the important person in his life. Maybe she'll go get work done so she'll look like Ivanka or something.
Oh, there ain't no fixing that face, John.
There's no fixing that.
That's below the belt, but there ain't no fixing that face.
You got to have a little bit of bone structure to fix that. And then not the horse bone structure.
Mm-hmm.
It's like her and Conway, both horse face. Can't fix it.
Your eyes are too close together. That's what they were screaming at her in New York.
Because she's backwoods. That's why. That's what happens when somebody in your family tree came from the same mama. So that's what happens. Your genes, your eyes move real close to each other. They get real beady.
I can't stop watching that video from that guy. It's ridiculous. Blast her with the fucking space laser.
She wasn't ready. She really wasn't ready. She should have had a V8.
She is not feeling it. She does not feel. She felt large and in charge, but her chariot's on its side. She knows that she can imagine herself as VP all day long, every day, 24/7, but he doesn't want her. He does not want her.
She would upstage him.
Oh my God. And so she's going to go around. She gets very emotional. She's going to come up with something else. I don't know what it is, but she's going to use crafty thought and gets emotional and comes up with something else. I don't know what she's going to do because now McCarthy and Scalise are fighting. So, they're going to just eat their own young.
That's great.
They're imploding.
They're an inbred young.
I'm here for it. Y'all, and you can't tell me that the GOP, I should feel bad for them. Because there's plenty of people in that party that aren't crazy that could right now step up and say, enough of this shit. Enough. And nobody has. Everybody's falling in line. So
she's going to feel so burdened if he doesn't ask her. Again, she is invested with him. And I feel like they've already talked about it in the past. Like he's already dangled it like a pardon to her. He's dangled the offer to her already. And if he changes what she thought she was secure in, ooh, she's going to get all petty and drama queen on him. If she's out in the cold, she will go full on drama queen. She's going to say, she's gonna work for another man. Basically, she's gonna help someone else get
Ooh, I
forward.
got him too.
That she thinks that she could get the VP role with. But yeah, she will feel very pissed off.
So you mean that how she acts when she's married towards other men, that also applies to her career as well? She's just doing the rounds.
There's a song.
There's a song for that.
It says, I dug my key into the side of his pretty little souped-up four-wheel drive. I carved my name into his leather seats. I took a Louisville Slugger to both headlights.
Whoa.
That's Carrie Underwood, isn't it?
Yes, it is. But this is going to be Marjorie Underwood.
She's going to go ham at Mar-a-Lago. That's what's going to happen.
That baseball bat he tried to hold over Bragg's head, she'll use it on him.
When she's defeated, she will have some very, very, very strong emotions, and she will react, maybe not towards him because she can get arrested for that. I mean, but if you want to, go right ahead. But she will have a tantrum. She will have an extreme tantrum. Maybe she'll go home and throw ketchup against the wall and be inspired and all that. But I too get that she may hook up with someone else and maybe try to salve and lick her wounds, but she'll eventually have to get over it. Because what's for you is for you, and what's not for you is not for you.
Just let her hook up with Ted Cruz or somebody like that.
And considering how much she loves people in power and trying to get in proximity of those people, Kevin McCarthy doesn't have any. Trump's about to go to jail. Pence is a freaking dead fish, so don't matter how many times you spread your legs. He only does it on Tuesdays at 7 in missionaries, so have fun. You know, who's she going to go after? Steve Bannon? You know, like, I mean, you're running out of options here, girl. I get that she will become very unbalanced, going both ways, extremely partisan, and her ambitions and her ego are going to get shattered here. Another way to read this, you're about to break a couple laws, girl. A couple of laws. If this is the law, you're going to break it here. And you might also be going to the pokey here for previous stuff that you did. So
thank you.
Maybe she'll be breaking
Roberta. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right.
Oh my God, watch her jump on Lindsay. And here's the thing, why is everybody pissed off about drags or the GOP? Have you seen Lindsey Graham on that recent interview? He was orange with blonde hair. Tell me that ain't drag.
Even like Midas Touch and the Young Turks commented on Lindsay's trying to look like Trump.
Yeah. I mean,
why? I mean, again, I don't like to call people. That's not a yes. Okay. Yeah. Because that's not something you need to aspire to be.
No, and he's going down. He's gonna. Fani's gonna.
That's my next
open
question.
a can of whoop ass on him. He's gonna get indicted.
That's my next question. There's rumors circulating that Fani Willis is ready to indict next month.
In May.
In May. So we'll
Donald Trump.
Yes.
Yep. And everybody else that was involved. And I bet you Lindsey Graham was involved. We all know. And I bet you Horseface, Crater Three Toes Green was involved because that's her home state. She's a representative there. So will Fani Willis indict next month?
In the month of May.
In the month of May, yes.
They're trying to get her out of there. And then she has to go to court May 1st because they're trying to say throw it out because the jury spokesperson, jury woman. She's very concerned about something.
What card are you getting, Lori?
She has, this is a big deal. It's a really big deal. And I think she's very concerned. She needs to have all her ducks in a row. And it's like she's waiting for one other thing. But I get that she comes out swinging. I mean, when I got these two, I thought, yep, she's going to do it. My outcome card is the 9 of Wands. So she has to go in there and defend herself on May 1st. But she comes out ahead. You know, this person hangs in there and wins. They're bloodied and bruised, but they win. So if I had to guess, I would say yes. But right underneath it is the Hangman. So she's a little concerned that she doesn't have something exactly the way she wants it.
Okay.
She might need a little. Okay.
Hangman on the bottom.
That's what's on the bottom of mine, too.
I'm getting like there's a 50-50 thing because this is legacy work for her. And I get be patient. There's some evidence that she's waiting to come to her. There's something not quite finished about her indictments. I feel like she may try to delay it 2 more months, but she'll have to fight to do that. But I'm getting a lot of 2 cards here, so I'm kind of feeling either 2 weeks or 2 months. It feels more like 2 months.
It might go over, yeah. Maybe.
She is going to indict. She might indict somebody in the circle around Trump, just to send a message like, okay, I'm starting it. But I feel like Trump himself and everything, I get that same thing, like she's not quite ready.
Yeah, I got that too. What did you guys get?
What did you get, Mr. Johnie?
If I can stop yawning and be okay, thank you. I get it's not secure with the 9 of Pentacles and the 5 of Pentacles. So this may be, since Pentacles are physical, this could be evidence or just the case itself. Whatever she's trying to gather, your Chariot pulling your opposites together, whatever she's trying to gather is being delayed by underhanded tactics. Okay. And so someone, of course, is fighting against her and all that type of stuff. However, she does have someone in her sights, so she will be giving out something. And she does have this person in her sights as well. This one may be delayed, though. So this is, I don't think it's May, but there is something coming, though. So something does approach. This doesn't necessarily mean in 1 month, but something is coming possibly in 2.
It's imminent.
I only pulled 1 card, and it's the heart, and that would be a yes.
You got a yes?
Yeah, I only pulled 1 card.
Okay. All right, well, good. That's what we want.
So my next question.
They're going to fight her, though. They're going to try to trash her big time. They're going to try to trounce her, trash her, throw her down, knock her up. They're going to try to do everything they possibly can. It's going to get ugly.
Yep. So Jim Jordan thinks he's a genius and decided to subpoena. What's that guy's name?
Alvin Bragg.
No, not Alvin Bragg. The guy that quit Alvin Bragg.
Yeah. Shoot.
The guy that wrote the book.
Yeah, the guy that wrote the book, Mark Pomerantz.
Yeah.
And
what a brilliant
Mr. Alan Bragg put out another very strongly worded letter or Twitter message to Jim Jordan. Now, here's the thing.
Now, he sent a letter and said, you're basically breaking New York law. In other words, you're obstructing state law.
But you couldn't expect Jim Jordan to know this. 1, he's an idiot. 2, he never passed the bar. So he has no idea what he's doing. He's just trying to throw a show for an audience of 1. Look at me, look at me, look at me, you know?
He's about to get indicted.
So, and here's the thing. Here's what's the funniest thing about this. Pomerantz quit because he thought Alvin Bragg was fucking up by not indicting Trump. So are you trying to convince the public that you're an idiot and that Trump does need to be like, that is the last person you would subpoena if you're trying to make a case that this is political, because that person just quit because he was pissed off that he wasn't going to get indicted. So,
Thank you, Hope.
so here's my question. Is Jim Jordan going to be in legal jeopardy with the Manhattan DA?
Gotten a warning shot.
He's
Cross the bow.
He's gotten a couple already.
Jim Short. I think it'd be so funny if Alvin Bragg would indict him.
You know what would be even funnier? If he does do this and puts it on camera, because, you know, showman, he wants to be a Mr. Showman. And then Pomerantz wipes the floor with his ass and makes him look like an even bigger clown, like all the other committees he's had. That would be hilarious. And then break a couple laws while you're at it, too. So then you can get yourself indicted.
I think he's going to get indicted.
I think he's going to get a warning. I think he's going to get a big old warning.
I think the courts are going to burden him and get him all emotional. I get my indictment card and by my, like AG hope for that, like moving forward, like he wants to shut him up, teach him a lesson.
Because you know he's taken orders from Trump. What'd you get, Lori?
I get that, well, I know Jen said she gets him being indicted. I think he's still standing, but I think that they're going to send either an indictment letter or something to him saying, look, you're in big trouble here. You better stand down right now or you are going to go to the pokey.
Send him to the pokey. Maybe those kids in his home state will finally get justice.
But don't worry, Jim. MTG will come up there when they arrest you and and shout for you.
Bring 3 people with her and then leave in 5 minutes.
somebody brought
George Santos. You animal, you filthy animal, you.
I could not stop laughing. I just could not stop laughing.
This is why I kept saying she is not tough. I said that from the beginning. She can do this stuff to people in Congress because she knows none of them are going to haul off and hit her. So when she goes, she chases the shooting victim boy and all this. Like she is not tough. When she got in a crowd of people, she wetted herself and then ran out the room. That's what happened.
Wetted herself.
Will he get an indictment or anything of the nature? I get he's going to continue this behavior. He has some plans to try to keep him in defense mode, try to keep Bragg in defense mode. Of course, it's dishonorable and it's treacherous and all that type of stuff because he has an agenda. But that agenda is, however, going to be blown open.
Yeah.
And that's of little consequence because, I mean, I don't think Bragg is going to sink his teeth into you, but because we all see it anyway, but that's going to be blown open as in public. And so the tower, I always say, is forced exposure. The lightning hits it and then you can't help but see inside. But I do think he gets a warning shot here with the page of wands. There's some sort of, hey, look here. And then he knows it's either keep going with this stupid plan and get arrested possibly or anything of that nature, or stop. And I think he will eventually stop this because that plan or warning is not working.
And you can't tell me that these Congress people don't have their own little legal team over there going, hey, you're walking this close to breaking the law. I get that he's going to continue with his investigation circle jerk for publicity and fame. So there's the work, the investigations, there's the continuation, there's the committees, and achieving fame. He's not going to get in trouble. It's just, he might play with it enough, manipulate it enough just to skirt it back a little bit, but this is what he's going to keep doing. Clowning for TV and cameras.
I hope he gets the indictment from Fani.
Oh, yeah.
Or the J6. It's going to be for
J6.
Yeah.
That's the most clearest bet for me, because I don't think he himself didn't ask for a pardon. He just kind of skirted around the issue. So he didn't come out and say, can I get a pardon? He just asked, is he going to be giving pardons? And then just kind of steered away from that. But you wouldn't be asking questions if you didn't think you did something that warranted you thinking you broke the law.
Was he one of the 10 that was in the room?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or of the 12, I think it was, that went over with MTG and stuff. But yeah, he obviously did something to get that Medal of Freedom award.
Oh, yeah. You know he did. Because nobody else got it. Rudy Giuliani didn't get it. John Eastman didn't get it.
MTG didn't get it.
MTG didn't get it. He did it. He got it. So, okay, final question. I'll leave this to you guys because you guys are like the spiritual experts, especially Johnny, who used to be a preacher, but not me.
I still am. I'm not a pastor.
I am a child of Satan. So, final question for the evening. What does Spirit or Jesus or whoever, whatever, have for the audience for the week? Because we are today observing
Easter and Ramadan.
Easter, Ramadan, Passover, all that stuff. So is there a message for the folks in the audience? Everybody. Don't forget, all Easter candy goes on sale tomorrow, you guys.
That's the candy I like. I don't care nothing about Valentine's or Halloween candy. I like Easter candy.
Actually, if you walk to the store tonight, Johnny, it's probably already on sale.
It could be.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sure it is.
Yeah.
Because that's what I need is 9 bags of jelly beans, right?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Ooh, those will yank your teeth out.
I mean,
I think there's going to be so many weather things going on that we have to all pull together, and then it's just going to force the stupidity of the Republicans out. That's what I think.
Okay.
There's more to be revealed. Oh my gosh. They're gonna lie, cheat, and steal. It's like it gets worse before it gets better.
Okay.
And something blows up on the internet. So not quite sure what that is. So just try to be patient. It's gonna take forever. Just try to be patient and know that this is, that this will come to an end, but it gets worse before it gets better.
Understood.
Choice. We have a lot of choices we can be making right now in our lives. And, March comes in like a lion, goes out like a lamb, as they say. We have a lot of choice and a lot of opportunities that we can do, and just enjoy the journey. These are both movement cards for me. Enjoy the journey, feel secure, get grounded, go stand outside barefoot or something, get grounded. Don't let things rile you up and stuff. Make some plans, build on the future. It may seem like the devil gets away with a lot, but if you stay grounded, you can keep that lid on your emotions. You won't get so riled up. And I'm getting journey. If y'all are planning vacations, this is a great time to plan vacations and get away. And there's good news coming. So
yeah,
take your trips now, because you be eating popcorn all winter.
Get out in Mother Nature as much as possible. Yeah, we'll be eating lots of popcorn for that.
Mm-hmm.
The good stuff's still coming.
Oh, yeah.
Boaz in Yakim. That's what the B and the J stand for in the high priestess. In him he shall establish strength. That means when you were born, it was something that is in you. Your wisdom, your strength. Believe that you can is great, but knowing that you can is better. At the very least, you shall try. You have in you the wisdom and the strength to do whatever it is that God has set before you to do. Do not be discouraged. It's just April. Do not be discouraged. In him, he shall establish strength. In you, the strength has already been established. Be encouraged. That's my message.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
What's your message?
I don't have one because I don't practice any of that stuff. So
I'm the motivator around here.
Yeah, I just eat the candy and wear the devil horns.
Okay.
So well, thank you everybody for joining us tonight. We'll be on Jennie's channel
Thursday night.
Thursday for birthday.
For Jennie's birthday. Which reminds me, I need to go to the store and get stuff to make cake.
That's just what I was thinking of. I need a snack or something.
Like I told Jennie, I was like, I'll make a cake for you and eat it too.
I'm always thinking of food, Jesus.
So, all right.
Next week on Johnny's channel.
Next week on Johnny's. Lori was live a couple days ago. If you guys missed it, go check out our channel for that because the readings were really, 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 really good.
Thank you.
On Lori at the Way of Positive Change. I'll try to go live sometime this week. We'll see how I'm feeling after work. Got a lot more GTs to do, so I'll pop up when I pop up. So, bye everybody. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Oh wait,
What?
one thing I forgot. We're trying to help Lori get to 10,000 subscribers. So if you are not subscribed to the Way of Positive Change, please go over and do that tonight.
Thank you.
And that's the whole name, Way of Positive Change.
Yep.
You should know where it is. Go subscribe.
Yes, go subscribe.
We know you're watching her. Go subscribe to her.
Yep. All right. Bye, everybody. Have a good evening.